Open Air Preacher says, love Jesus and stop sinning, or you will burn in hell.
That is Open Air Preacher's opinion, and there's no scientific evidence to back that biased view up.
Air 90 Full wrote, or rather typed, the Christian Church teached us to hate Satan, to be afraid of him, etc., because they needed only one God, because one God is easier to be manipulated. In fact, Satan is the continuation of the underworld gods from the pagan era like Hades. In antiquity, many people used to adore the underworld gods.
Although a little grammar and proofreading would not hurt. I agree.
Me too.
Alozo19 had this to say, fuck Satan, fuck Satanists, fuck demons, fuck cults, God, and Jesus is my savior, and Satan will never touch me as long as I am the barrier of righteousness.
Boy, that's a lot of fucking.
And also, fuck spell check, apparently.
Kenny Raymond said something like, understandable, your channel is certainly unique. I am sure that it does attract a lot of people. I have a question for you. When you talk of Satan, what does that mean to you? Is he Lucifer the light bearer, or the mythological anti-light figure? The boogeyman of nightmares, so to speak?
Light bearer's boogeyman. It's all good.
To me, Satan is just generic rebellion.
Okay, here's one from Deathmark. LOL, you say fucking religion, then hail Satan. I don't understand.
Deathmark doesn't understand because Deathmark probably hasn't watched enough of the episodes. Not only have I said hail Satan without being religious, but I've also eaten candy canes and I don't even believe in Santa Claus. Worse yet, I've gone on Easter egg hunts, but I question the existence of an Easter bunny. I bet Deathmark is really confused now.
This is the second edition of the History of Satanic Views, focusing on the years 2007 and 2008.
Me and you had this conversation before when you said that Satanic Views had experienced a quantum leap in popularity in about 2007, I think.
Yeah, I think at first Satanic Views only had a few diehard fans. They consider themselves actual Satanists or occultists. I think they were fans of Jason Posey, who was actually the most knowledgeable about the folklore and the traditions and the history and the culture.
But it looks to me like the series got a lot sillier in 2007.
Yes, I originally wanted to do a variety show and did not want it to be all lecture and commentary. I wanted to lighten up the mood whenever possible.
Is that when you started throwing in the comedy?
Pretty much. And it's hard to be funny, especially when it's no budget. So more often than not, my antics looked like poor man's Jackass, which I don't see as a bad thing because Johnny Knoxville and Chris Pontius and Steve O'Gliver are heroes of mine.
So wait, you say Satanic Views is no budget, but how are you able to bring cast members with you to foreign countries?
All those scenes of us in Australia, a lot of it was faked. Me and Jocelyn really did go to Australia, but the scenes of Jack and Jason were shot in my backyard. I edited it together to make it look like the whole cast and the whole crew was going to places like Belize and Australia. Obviously, I don't have the budget to buy plane tickets for everybody. But if you watch, I think it was... I don't know if it was the first or second or third episode, but the one where we went to Australia, you can see the Sydney Opera House in the background. Well, that was digitally superimposed. That was my backyard. And the blue-tongued skink, an Australian lizard that we were playing with in Australia, is actually a much-beloved family pet that I've had for years. She was raised in America.
I noticed that by mid-2008, Damon, that your cast kept changing.
Right. The problem is that people keep moving away. People's cell phone numbers changed and they moved to other states. All sorts of things happen. But the show must go on, so anytime somebody moved, I'd find a local volunteer to replace them. In late 2008, Satanic Views was more popular than ever and was voted best local YouTube series in the Phoenix New Times. Even though things were going well, I was frustrated that YouTube technology only allowed 10 minutes maximum. I have too much to say and do, so it was hard to cram it all into just 10 minutes. And I just cringe when I listen to all the unintended, high-pitched voices that happen every time I had to speed everything up.
Thanks for watching the second edition of History of Satanic Views. Next time, we'll talk about the webcast episodes of 2009-2010.
Love Under Law pointed this out. Children of the left-hand path are always being blamed for shit throughout history, but as you've said, we're not the ones causing mass bloodshed around the earth and doing it all in God's name either. Anyway, darkest blessings and Gothic greetings to you from Central New York.
Yes, good point.
Right. It was not members of the Church of Satan who hijacked airplanes on 9/11.
It's also not Satanists who show up at funerals to harass the grieving families by chanting, yelling, and holding signs that read, "God hates fags."
Here's one from Kamachar666. Cool channel, Damon. There ain't nothing more satanic than a good sense of humor. Ave Satanas.
Thank you. I agree. That's my point exactly.
Smock Everything says, y'all are gay, and I don't mean like you like the same sex. You're fags.
Well, I guess Smock Everything really has been smoking everything.
And now, our favorite comment.
This comment was for episode number 20, which had Lucifer's tap dance and the 9 satanic statements.
Let's see what this person has to say about these topics.
Rich and Famouse incoherently mumbled the following. Bitch, please, I don't want that dirty ass shit. Proly got herpes and all, but fuck you, Nika.
There was a grueling 15-hour flight on the inept Cathay Airlines that took me on one of the most unusual vacations of my life. During the course of this round trip, there were not only layovers in Perth and Kuala Lumpur, but I was left stranded in Hong Kong overnight, which added to my frustration and jet lag. But things got better and more unique and interesting once I finally arrived at my destination on the other side of the world. The journey was to the secluded Christmas Island, a place most Americans have never heard of. Christmas Island is located in the Indian Ocean somewhere between Australia and Malaysia. Most of the people I saw there were Australians, but this unusual island is also heavily populated by Chinese and Muslims from Malaysia. So although it's considered an Australian territory, there's a great deal of Asian influence as well. But I did not go there for culture or other forms of human conceit. I went to Christmas Island because I love tropical weather, beaches, blue oceans, palm trees, and exotic animals. I found it interesting that this underdeveloped island only seems to have 1 or 2 decent beaches, since the remainder of this enjoyable place is surrounded by razor-sharp, jagged rocks, and most of the time, it's just not safe to try and get into the surrounding waters. My main draw was to see the red crabs and other land crabs that Christmas Island is known for. I tried giving them watermelon, but these crustaceans eat indigenous vegetation, so I decided to see what all the fuss was about.
I don't know what you guys see in these leaves, but they seem to like them, so let's find out what's the big deal. Hard and has no flavor. You guys are crazy. I offered you watermelon.
I was there in late November when the annual spawning migration of the crabs was beginning.
As you can see, Christmas Island is a little underdeveloped. There appear to be no real sidewalks on these streets here. This is a residential area, or maybe it's all rentals for tourists like us. It's kind of strange that they don't have sidewalks, but I mean, it's strange because you see all these smashed dead crabs here. I'm surprised there's not more smashed dead people here, because I don't see a lot of cars driving slowly. They're all driving fairly fast. Several crabs have been smashed today. Here's one that's trying to cross the road. I'm going to try and save him.
So I took it upon myself to minimize the seasonal collisions between the cars and migrating red crabs.
I'm going to... Ow! God damn! Okay. It's one of several crabs I've saved since coming to Christmas Island.
One place I was keen to check out was the grotto. With a big sign like that, I was confident enough to ignore the other signs, which were warnings of how dangerous the grotto can actually be. So we arrogantly walked through the jungle to get to the cave known as the grotto. Getting down inside this cavern is dangerous because it's very steep and the rocks are both slippery and jagged. But once we got down inside the grotto, we were treated to a nice, shallow swim that was so refreshing in the humid, tropical heat. Even this is a little dangerous because of the currents that could probably suck a small child deep into the cave where there appears to be no surface or air pockets or places to breathe. As we grabbed the rope and climbed out, we both got banged up on the rocks and ended up with our share of bruises, scratches, and other injuries. Once the damage had been done, I decided to backtrack and have a look at the ominous signs and warnings that I ignored on the way down.
Ooh, you got some scrape.
During a rainforest hike, I learned that robber crabs are way cool.
Indeed, the robber crabs are the largest land crabs in the world. Hey, crazy guy!
I gave crab food a second try to finally see if I learned to like it.
Alright, so I don't know what you guys are eating these leaves for, but I guess I'll give it a try. Let's see, you guys must know what you're talking about if you're going to eat leaves. It has no flavor.
Birds go for the eye.
Since I've always loved big boobs, I was curious to check out a local bird known as a booby.
It's alright, you're far enough away.
Hey, booby. I'm a boob man, hey? Whoa, sorry.
Wow, he's really defending
Thank you.
his...
Are these babies?
No, these are adults.
So
why are they just hanging out here?
No, it's okay, it's okay.
So I don't have a way with the birds, but the insects love me. This tropical bug was one of the biggest grasshoppers I'd ever seen. But I was not there for grasshoppers. I was there to help get crabs out of harm's way and speed up their march to spawn.
Why did the crab cross the road to get smashed by a car? Why did I cross the road to rescue a crab and get him to his destination? Come on, buddy. Here you go. Okay, I'll take you. Maybe I'll take him all the way to the coast. Want to go all the way to the coast? Is that what you want?
Once we got to the coast, I realized that Flying Fish Cove has something to offer humans as well. The snorkeling and free diving was just as good as it is in the Caribbean, but is void of crowds. There were warning signs to stay away from the jetty, barges, buoys, docks, containers, ships, and other man-made equipment. But against my better judgment, I just could not resist swimming thousands of feet away from the shore to see these things. When I returned to the surface, I encountered a situation I was too intimidated to videotape. All of a sudden, there were all these armed guards and members of the Australian Coast Guard all around me. I assumed they were there to arrest me for trespassing. As I retreated to my rental car, I became aware that the cops were immigration officers with bigger fish to fry. It seems that there was a makeshift, dilapidated boat of illegal immigrants from Malaysia who tried sneaking in with help from a gang of people smugglers. I watched a ship of Australian soldiers apprehend the Muslims in a situation not unlike the more familiar conflict on the borders of California and Arizona, where the undocumented workers nearly lose their lives trying to cross the desert. Instead of Mexicans dying in the desert, it's Muslims drowning in their condemned boats. But I don't care about people. I care about animals.
You made it across the road, the direction you were going, but you're afraid of me. Ow! Dude, you crazy? I just saved your life. Don't you get it? Don't you get it? Oh! Oh! Fuck!
Wow.
During one of our walks, we found an old Islamic cemetery right there on the main road. Directly across the street was a Chinese cemetery. I believe both ethnic groups were first brought in hundreds of years ago to do manual labor in the phosphate mines, which has always been one of the island's main industries. Here's one of the culprits, and here's one of the victims.
Here I am right at one of the parts of Christmas Island where the red crabs do their annual migration from the rainforest down to the ocean. And they have to block off certain areas because of all the traffic. As you can hear, there are lots of cars here, and people accidentally smash the crabs. Now, if I was driving here, I'd be driving around them to make sure I was not mashing the crabs. Alright, we're going to have to stop the car again because there are crabs in the road blocking us. On both lanes, we can't even go around them, so I gotta take care of this.
Every year around November and December, millions of land crabs return to the ocean for reproductive purposes. As you've seen, cars kill many of them. So at the risk of losing blood, I did my best to move them out of harm's way and get them that much closer to their destinations. But I was also curious to see what environmental damage mankind is doing to the island in its quest for a profitable mineral. The irresponsible processing companies seem to disregard the island's ecosystems.
Here we are at what I believe to be the remains of an old phosphate mine. I'm guessing that this procedure is kind of like mountaintop removal, where they take the precious element out that they need and destroy the rest of the environment. So if you look around this part of Christmas Island, it looks Most of it still looks like a tropical, lush rainforest, but this immediate patch, very dead and barren, so I assume it's the remains of a mine.
Aside from crab rescues, I also enjoyed a Chinese festival that happens only once every 4 years. There were these large incense sticks that had heads resembling dragons or demons, and their traditions are so much cooler than the Christian crap that my family celebrates. This friendly, welcoming celebration of Chinese deities and a monkey god took place at a 100-year-old Taoist temple on some secluded mountain that didn't have the most advanced plumbing facilities. Restrooms were certainly needed because of all the free alcohol and food. I've not been this drunk in years.
Several beers later at this, I believe it's a Taoist church. Me and Jocelyn are probably the only Americans here. I just can't stand all these damn Mexicans.
But as much as I love Asian culture, to me it was all upstaged by a blue rubber crab that just happened to be passing through. Most of the Chinese and natives and Australians in the crowd did not take much notice of it.
He's alright. He does this kind of thing all the time.
But me being one of the most foreign people there, I consider rubber crabs to be unusual and exotic. The locals warned me that rubber crabs split coconuts and can inflict nasty injuries, but I still wanted to have this huge crustacean climb all over me. There were nervous onlookers who were so worried that this ignorant American might lose an ear, but the rubber crab wanted no part of me, and so we let it go on its merry way.
Oh no, oh boy. Hey buddy.
Around you. He doesn't want to have anything to do with you, really.
Here we are at the only big resort that I've seen on Christmas Island. There might not be many more. It's got lots of different buildings for people to stay at. It's much larger than the little place we stayed. I guess it used to be a casino a long time ago, but doesn't look too well taken care of. Not a lot of maintenance. I mean, there's lots of weeds and it's a little dirty like the rest of the island, so it's obvious why this island is not as famous as Hawaii. It could be as famous as the Hawaiian Islands, but it's not as well known, not enough tourists to really get enough money into it. Maybe that's part of its secluded, rustic charm. It's not real ritzy and touristy, although this is considered a big resort for this island. I got you. I'm trying to save you. Here you go. Here you go. Here's it now. Okay. That's safe. We can cross through now. So in order to minimize the amount of crabs that get smashed on their annual migration, there are all these tunnels and funnel-like devices where crabs are supposed to be corralled so that they don't get smashed by cars that crawl over. But some of them don't know what these tunnels are for. This guy here, I know he's right about to try and cross the road. You don't want to cross the road there, buddy. Here, let me corral. You come this way. No. Come on. This way. I got you. Here we go. Okay. There. That way, you won't get smashed by a car, buddy. You're safe now. Here's some food for the trip.